Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, doing something a little different that I don't do often. We're going to be removing a garbage disposal and just going back with a drain. This is in a tenant's house. Most of my landlords are beginning to get where when something happens to the disposal, we're taking them out. Because like a lot of other things, people will not take care of them. This particular tenant, I have been in there over the last 3-4 years that I've worked with this landlord. I have removed plastic pieces of plastic, spoons, forks, stuff like that. I have removed cellophane. I have removed the bread tie wrapper things that jammed up got in there so bad it jammed up the motor. What else? Bottle caps. Just all kinds. Milk caps. Like from the milk jugs. And she'll call, and I've showed her several times how to take that wrench and reverse it to get something unjammed from a garbage disposal. Still, it's a pain, okay? And it costs the landlord a minimum of $55 for a service call for me to go out there and spend 30 seconds to unjam it and fish whatever it was out. So the motor on this one started going, and he just said, you know what, let's pull it out, put a drain in. So if you're looking to just remove your garbage disposal and then put a sink strainer and a drain, all that, this is the video for you. So have any questions or comments, leave them down below. So let's get started on this one. Okay, we're taking out the disposal and just putting a drain in. Should be fun. Okay, now this is loose. I'm going to deal with the electrical after I get it loose. Okay, our electrical connections are behind this plate. You want to make sure electric is off at the breaker, because sometimes the switch leaks juice, and especially if it's an old switch. There's not a junction box back there. It goes directly probably to the switch. So we're going to pull this cover off, this cover, and undo the electrical. And we still have to change out the strainer. Got the wire connections out. Oh man, those things are tight. It's all wet. Man, I'm glad somebody put those things on tight. Look, actually maybe a little too small for that wire size, but maybe this could be old school. Ain't no telling how long this has been in. There's that one. I still don't like doing this. Okay, the ground is, looks like right there. Got the camera in my way now, can't see. Yeah, that's ground. That ground is almost 8 2. And there we go. I'll cap those off and stick it up here someplace, because this goes always back to the switch and we don't have time today to pull it all the way through. So now work on getting that strainer out. I believe those are flat screws. I could be wrong. Sorry for the poor lighting. Let's see if this will help. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to loosen these, and I'm gonna need both hands. Now before you can get this off, there is a wire retaining ring right there, wire retainer. You gotta flip that off for this whole mess to come off. So again, I can't do this with one hand, but if you look right in there, you can see it. I'm gonna just take my screwdriver and work it around there and get it off. This is real fun with one hand. Just like that. And now this strainer will come out the top. Okay, here's your strainer. Once you get the ring off, it's easier to get the ring off if you do it before you unloosen it. Sometimes forget. Now, yours probably has plumber's putty all the way around it, so we want to clean that off. Yes, sir. Just get that on. Because we're going to go back with silicone. Because silicone is so much better. It's more permanent. If you've got plumber's putty and your strainer ever slips after the putty sets up, it'll crack and leak. That's why I like silicone. I don't have to worry about that with silicone. Here's the strainer I'm going to go back to. Just a little plastic job. Let me get it out of there and we'll look at it. Okay, this is plastic one. You can get them in metal. I really hadn't found that big a difference in them. You think metal is about twice as much, but as far as performance, really haven't seen a difference. I've got some of these are in 7 or 8 years, still just as good as the day I put them in. So, okay, what we're going to do is take this black nut off, and then we're going to take this slip ring. Now, should be a cardboard one there, as well as a rubber gasket, and we want to keep both of those. Okay, here's the pieces. We may or may not need these, but we're going to save them. This is the ring that goes right around there, and this is your cardboard slip washer, as well as your gasket. Now, this is how it goes on. You put your strainer in and come up from below. Okay, your silicone is going to seal it around here. We're going to come up below. Gasket goes on first, followed by the slip washer. Did I say slip sinker? Earlier I'm thinking of fishing maybe. Okay, your paper one goes on the bottom. It allows this ring, when you put it on there, it allows that ring to slip around and tighten that gasket up. Right now I gotta go find some silicone. Okay, here we are with some silicone. You want to make sure that this is completely dry. I like to go over it with some alcohol, and then you're going to make sure that you're underneath your flange, right along this flange, is completely dry. Again, I use alcohol to clean it off just a little bit. Don't need a whole lot of silicone. This has been laying in the back of the truck, and it's like, oops, there we go. This is very cold. It doesn't want to come out. Okay, doesn't take much. And once we have our silicone down, we're just going to drop this in there. I like to give it just a little turn. Make sure that's all nice and sealed. See it oozing out. Now we're going to take a rag with alcohol and wipe all that silicone off. Okay, we got the strainer wiped off. Now remember, we'll put these on, and our cardboard one goes on bottom. And I can't do it with one hand, so let me do this and we'll get back. Now, before you tighten in, cut. Okay. Now, this is how it goes, just like this. We got the rubber gasket, the cardboard, and then we got the nut, and the flat part of the nut will go up. Now, let me use both hands to get this on. I'll show you what it looks like when we get done. Okay, now before you get this nut tightened up all the way, you want to make sure that your strainer is centered above. And it don't take a lot of pressure because you got the silicone there. You don't want to squeeze it all out. That's just good hand tight right there, and that's all I'm going to do for right now. Okay, center it up. I reached under and tightened the nut up. Tie that coat with my hand. We're good to go. We got just a little squeeze out around the edges, which what we want, and then we'll take our alcohol soaked rag and clean that off. Okay, after you've tightened this up, got it centered, tighten it up, let your silicone dry for, I don't know, let it set about 30-45 minutes, something like that. You're ready to make that connection. Now this one's going to require a little ingenuity to make that fit. Make sure if you have a dishwasher drain line that the fitting you get has a fitting for the dishwasher drain. And I've got to go get some 90s, but that's how you disconnect a disposal and put the drain. Now this is old school. Not old school, it's just PVC. They've glued all the joints. There's only 1, 2, 3 slip joints, so this is going to be a little bit more challenging than if it was all slip joints. So anyway, the easiest thing is probably put a extension back over here. That'd probably be the easiest thing, but I don't have one of those. But I gotta go get some more fittings. But pretty much that's, you know, you're just gonna make that connection right there.